All right, so we'll go ahead and start. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us for Let's Talk NMB, a moment for the city to connect with our residents during this time of the coronavirus and so many issues that are impacting the city, our communities, and our homes. And we thought that this program would be just a good way to make sure that we still provide information to our residents, to our stakeholders, to our businesses as well, to know what's going on at City Hall, but also to get feedback on things that we may not be aware of that we need to hear from our community. So we thank everyone for tuning in every day, Monday through Friday at 12:30. On behalf of the city manager, welcome. He would not be able to join us today, potentially, maybe briefly. He's been inundated with a lot of various items that come up in the morning, the night before, the weekend. And so maybe we'll get a glimpse of him later in the program, but he certainly sends his regards. He hopes that everyone's doing well. And certainly he wanted the program to go on. Today we have with us, ladies and gentlemen, Stephanie Betancourt. She is one of the owners of several rather, family-owned McDonald's franchises. And they've been a persistent and consistent supporter of the city of North Miami Beach and a lot of our efforts to help our community in need, a lot of times even helping us out at our food drive. And we thought they would be great to be showcased today because a lot of times we know about the brand of a company, but we don't hear much about the stories in terms of who are the people and the faces behind the company, what they do and why they do it. So Stephanie, welcome. And
Thank you.
please tell us more about, the family. Why did they choose McDonald's, and what has been the philosophy of becoming a franchise owner of so many different franchises in South Florida and probably uh, further out than that? And so we're listening.
Well, hi, good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for the invitation. It's exciting to to join the forum that you have going on here. I'm excited to be here. Um, Such a sensitive question you've asked me to open. I get so emotional about this particular topic. But no, because the story of our family business in particular is, very much one of the American dream. So I guess that's why I get so touched by it. This is something that has been in our family for the past 35 years. My father and my mother were the ones who started it as registered applicants way back when, and they didn't know what they were doing, and they didn't have any restaurant experience of any kind. Um, my father actually worked in restaurants in for McDonald's when he decided to try and take this on without knowing anything about it. They trained him for 4 years without pay in a McDonald's restaurant while he worked on the side and overnight shifts, obviously, to make money for the family, before finally being able to own a restaurant and to be qualified to be an owner operator. So they went through many hard times, lots of bumps and bruises along the way to grow their business. Obviously, not knowing anything about restaurants, they had some challenges, some days that they thought that they weren't going to survive in this, and why did they get in this, and what is this, But a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication, a lot of long nights, and a lot of sacrifices, to finally get a hold of what this business was and how it was run, and really very much that it's not just about burgers and fries and equipment and things like that. It's very much a people business, and it's very much developing a team and being able to work with your community and with your team and establish relationships and building that kind of trust and loyalty to be able to run the day to day and to be able to understand the mechanics of running a restaurant. So that came with a lot of time, and slowly they were able to grow the business to what it is today. And we're very fortunate, very unexpected to my parents that they weren't able to retire because we went ahead and joined. And so now it's actually a very large family business in the sense that it's, my two parents who began this business a long time ago, Emilio Cabrera and Hilda Cabrera. And now it's my brother and I, Anthony Cabrera, myself, Stephanie, and my husband. It's a lot of fun. my sister-in-law who's also joining the business. So it's a very interesting family dynamic and running a business at the same time, which also comes with its challenges as well. But we're very, very fortunate to be a very tight-knit family and to be able to make it happen, so we're really excited about that. And, yeah, so that's the story of our history and our business, how it is today.
And it sounds like your parents basically started a legacy with starting the franchise, and now you and your brother and the family have all
Yeah.
now joined part of the team, the family
Right.
team, family
Right.
business.
I mean,
So
that's
then,
what gets me emotional about it, because, it is something that we're carrying on after so much sacrifice. And so, because we grew up with years of, this was like every dinner table conversation was, about food costs and ketchup. You don't realize. So, just knowing all the trials and tribulations and all the work and effort and years that they put into it, and to be able to carry that on and to basically have the responsibility of not only upholding what they've already built and established, but making it better, that is something that we're very proud of, and we're trying very hard to do, to make them proud.
so then I'm going to have you dig a little, I'm going to have you dig a little deeper then, because your parents started the legacy. So what is the legacy that you and your brother wish to leave behind then?
You know, Definitely who they were and what, I mean, obviously there's, my mom is here.
Hi, Mom.
Yes. So, um, just, obviously who they are, and the morals and values that they established and they instilled, and the standards that they wanted for this business, carrying that on, and also making it better and making improvements, and definitely moving towards the future, because it's such a different business today than it was when they started it. It's a completely, I mean, just from the menu to the technology to the equipment, it's a completely different world than when they began, so improving it and taking it further is definitely a huge legacy of ours. And just to be able to say that, we're part of the Emilio and Hilda Cabrera team, and that to be something that's kind of well known in the McDonald's world is something that we're very proud of.
So we know that you're also proud of giving,
Yeah.
and a big part of you being featured on the show is because of what you've done in collaboration with the city, but specifically through our public affairs division, who we love and adore very much. So tell us, why was it important for you all to be involved in our food distribution drives and giving during those moments?
Well, in all honesty, for years, that's always been something that was just an automatic thing, is whenever there's, not necessarily, I feel silly even calling anything prior to what we're going through these days a crisis, but any type of form or mini crisis that may have been occurring before, it was always something that our parents would jump on. And what is something we can do? How can we lend a helping hand? Even when it was just small community things, or being sponsors for a child's athletic team, or I know that we've also sponsored a Miami-Dade, the police officer bike. I don't want to say a Tour de France, but
It's a tour de force.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
And just being sponsors and things like that, and just being able to step up in the community. We do a lot of work with our local schools in our communities. Not only do we do McTeacher nights where teachers get to come in and work behind our counter with the students, but we also do, and they take a portion of the proceeds made for their school. In addition to that, we do a lot of any perfect attendance awards, showing up at their schools to speak for career days, giving away books to their libraries and things like that. That also has been something that's always been through the years. So it's kind of something that's been instilled in us. McDonald's as a brand is also something, is very, very heavy in working with their community and being a community ambassador, and being environmentally conscious, and being kind of like a global symbol of a place that you can always look to for support and for help. So we kind of get it at every angle. We get it through our family, as well as through the system in general.
So the slogan on our logo, I mean, we have a slogan, it's one vision, one mission, one city, but on our city seal, we have another slogan, and it says, in a place, where we care. When somebody walks away from, whether your counter or a student walks away from one of the events where you've given to, what would you like them to walk away with?
Oh, we really like to make a personal connection. Like we want it to be more than just that you came to our counter and ordered fries and that was it. You know, we want them to know that this is your McDonald's. You know, we want people to think about it. You know, there's McDonald's everywhere. That our nation itself has over 14,000 restaurants. You know, so it's, yeah, you can find McDonald's everywhere, but this is your McDonald's. You know, and so maybe you may have had a negative experience, you know, because everybody has a bad day. So maybe you have a negative experience in one restaurant. We want you to be able to think to yourself and know, but that wouldn't happen in my restaurant. That wouldn't happen in my McDonald's. You know, to have that kind of personalization to the stores that you go to, we want people to have. And we do like to have, we have a lot of stores that we have neighborhood restaurants, and we also have restaurants that are more in touristy areas. So it's a lot easier to do it in a neighborhood restaurant where you have the kind of personal connection of your regulars, of, you know, I already know your order. You know, I can put it in when I see you coming in the restaurant. Or we have a restaurant that we have a coffee group, that we even wanted to make hats for them as the coffee team, and they sit in the same booth every time they come, and they're there for the same amount of time. They always order the same stuff, and it's like, that's our coffee team. And it actually is really an interesting relationship that we have with them, because they've even become, you know, part of our kind of security team and awareness team. You know, when we pass by, they'll let us know, hey, the other day I saw this and this happening, but don't worry, I spoke to them, and, you know, and that kind of thing. And it's like, wow, you know, like when you build that kind of relationship with your community, then everybody has each other's back and everybody's supporting each other. And that's what we like to have our customers leave with, that we're all in this together, whether it's a crisis or just, you know, day to day, that we're a restaurant that you can count on, that we're part of your family and we're your restaurant.
Yeah, relationships are extremely important in so many facets of our lives. And we know that there's going to be a lot of seniors that are graduating soon. And
Oh,
since you've been very successful as a female, what do you want to tell these young women who are graduating now in a time that's pretty uncertain? What would you
yeah.
like to share with them?
Um, well, two things. One thing is, I don't know, a lot of people, it's kind of a something that we do promote, but for some reason it's still something that's kind of, a lot of people aren't aware of, that McDonald's as a brand does. We did actually used to do this on our own as an organization, but now system wide, any McDonald's that you go to, if you choose to work at a McDonald's, pays for your university, pays for your college. And I don't think that a lot of people are aware of that. You know, so that's something, yeah, it's called the archways of opportunity that we have. And really, it's not much, thank you, it's not much that you have to do. As long as you're working a minimum of 15 hours in a restaurant, your university and your college gets paid. You know, so I think that that's something that we try to communicate as best we can, and we put posters, and, you know, we put things on our doors, and we try to educate a lot of our crew and our managers about it, so that if someone approaches them, they're able to speak eloquently about it, and have all the information, or if not, at least know where to get the resources to be able to give that out. But that, number one, is something that I definitely want to communicate to females, males, to everybody, to know that there is a way to be able to get that higher education if you're looking for it. You know, and it doesn't mean that you're committed to McDonald's for the rest of your life, you know, but it's something that at least for the next 2 or 4 years, if you need that support, this is an additional income that you can use towards your university and to your college. And then as a woman on the other spectrum, it's been interesting. I'm very fortunate to have grown up in an environment where I was never told, you know, it was as I got older that I started to realize that, oh, because I'm a female, this is not, you're surprised that I'm here, you know, because in my household, it was never, never at any point did I feel that I couldn't do whatever it was that I wanted to do, you know. So it was interesting for me, because especially in this business and doing a lot of the training that I do in our restaurants, and being able to speak with a lot of the people that come and apply to us, or going to speak at schools, you know, it's not everybody obviously comes from the same background or the same support system, you know. So it's very eye-opening and very humbling to see, you know, that there are people that need to hear that, and there are people that need to kind of talk themselves out of whatever systematic, not systematic, but, you know, whatever other teachings that, or the thing is that it doesn't necessarily have to be something that was directly taught to them. Just whatever you've been listening to that wasn't necessarily directed to you, that made you feel that you couldn't do something, is incorrect. You know, you're capable of doing anything, sometimes, excuse me, gentlemen, better. I feel, um, excuse
You
me,
got a lot of applause on that
I
one.
have the floor. I have the floor. You know, that you're more than capable. You are more than capable of accomplishing anything that you want to do. But yes, it's time and it's sacrifice and it is hard work. And unfortunately, there are mindsets that you need to change and there are barriers that you need to break. It is very much true. And I have gotten a lot of surprised faces, you know, especially when I started. I joined this business in 2012. It wasn't my original profession. I was a teacher before I decided to join our family business. And, you know, I just kind of, when I began, I did get a lot of surprise faces you know, any questions that I would ask, the fact that I did research and that I was able to ask questions that pertain to the topic, you know, and just the fact that I'm not necessarily aggressive, but I am someone that will try to gather as much research and facts as I can to achieve the goal. Like I don't, not that I don't like being told no, but why not? Are you sure? Have you tried this? Have you done it? So I guess I'm more persistent, I guess. You know, and I just think that you know you never know until you ask and you never know until you try, and I don't think you should just take things at face value, and I don't think you should just take things as people have told you. People can tell you I already tried, that doesn't work, or you know, but try on your own, do your own private experiment, you know, see what you can accomplish on your own. Don't just take people's words for it, because really the sky is the limit, and it's all about what you put into it. What you put into it is exactly what you're going to get out of it, and tenfold. So
Thank you for that, Stephanie. I'm kind of scanning the gallery to see if there's any
to see who has left the call for
that, that want to, that have any questions, because like I told you, the half hour goes really quickly and we already just only have 9 minutes left, but we do have one of our residents, Ketley, who raised her hand and has a question for you.
I'm
Ketley?
sorry. Hi.
Hi, Stephanie. My name is Kathleen Joachim, and I live in city of North Miami Beach, of course. I think your parents were, I guess, I would unafraid of venturing, especially your dad, into this line of business. So, was he aware of how many minorities own a McDonald's before he jumped in there?
Well, actually, that's why he was approached. He was approached because at the time there wasn't a lot of, we're Hispanic. So at the time there wasn't a lot of Hispanic operators. And so they were looking to increase Hispanic operators for some of the Hispanic neighborhoods, which isn't what he ended up with either way, you know, but at the time when he decided to try it, that's what they sought him out, you know, because he also, you know, I get it from somewhere. He also is someone that is very focused and dedicated and goal oriented. So the friends that he had at the time that had heard about this job opening approached him because they felt that it would be something that he would be successful at, because McDonald's is very much a system of ladders. It's not so much who you know kind of environment. It is very much a structured ladder. And it really is one of the only businesses that you can start as a crew member and end up being an owner operator. You can end up being an owner of your own restaurant. You absolutely can. You know, so
one of the reason I asked about that is because one of my nieces started working for McDonald's by the hospital when she was about, I think, 14, 15. And now she's one of those, I guess, regional managers, the one that goes into each store to make sure they're performing. So she's constantly traveling, and tried to talk the family into purchasing a McDonald's a few years back, because both her and her husband had worked for McDonald's. The husband no longer does, but when Flo came to the family and tried to talk us into buying a McDonald's, it was like half of the family said, "Oh no,
right.
no."
You truly don't know what you're getting into, and maybe that's kind of the beauty of it, because it's better not to know. Because it is a lot of work. It is a lot of work. It's not something that runs on its own. You need to be very present, but there's so much more to it, like I said earlier, than, you know, the relationships that you build. And just now, like, what other profession would I be able to have, you know, an opportunity to speak to all of you in a forum like this, you know? So there's a lot of pride behind this brand. And I don't know how to describe it. You know, it's just, I never thought that I was going to be someone that had ketchup in their veins. Um, but it's, yeah, over time, you know, you develop a lot of pride when you realize everything that this business does, you know, and what it does for the community. And that's what really drove me to it is everything that we've done for our community, and especially things like the Ronald McDonald House. You know, that's something that's just, I'm so proud to be a part of things like that. I'm so proud to be part of a business that will pay for your university. You know, I'm proud to be part of that.
I think that was a great gem to share with us today. I don't think many of us even realize that what the type of experience you can walk away from being an
Right.
employee of McDonald's, not learning not just the culture of the organization and the values of the organization, but also investing in you, the
Right.
employee, for your future. I think that's commendable, and I that's something new
Right.
I learned today. We
Thank
have
you so
like
much.
like
Yeah. Thank you for that question, because I was, yes,
oh, no
such
problem.
such an important
We
thing
have
to share.
we have like a few more minutes left of the program. Wanted to make sure that we didn't forget to recognize Florencia Figuera, who's one of your
Yes,
supervisors, and I know you trust her a whole lot because she supervises various stores for you, and
yes.
she's been integral in the partnership that has been developed between us and the McDonald's family. So we do thank her for that. The other thing that we make sure that we promote on every program is the census. And so we
Mhm.
hope that you filled out your form, but we certainly remind everyone to please fill out their census form, because for us, reaching 50,000 plus one is like our main goal, one of our main goals for this year. It opens up so many opportunities for the city to gain more access to certain funds that, because we're under 50,000, we wouldn't be able to access those funds to provide various types of services and programs to our community. So today we've actually reached 53% response rate, but we're trying to get to 100. Oh, yes, we're working really hard, and thanks to so many people, that a lot of our employees are really pushing this hard. Our librarian, our parks director, just about every area of our city, our public affairs department. We're trying to reach everyone, to reach someone else to get the census completed, and we're not going to stop. So we hope that you do the same thing, Stephanie. But I did see that our raised hand came up with a few minutes left in the program, and I'm going to see if I can unmute Diane Ralston, because I saw her hand go up. And let's see if I can get her unmuted for you. Diane Ralston is also one of our residents here in the city, who cares about us very much. And so Diane, looks like she muted herself after I muted her. Diane, did you have a
I,
question?
I don't have a question. Look, the McDonald's in North Miami Beach has saved my hunger pains so many times. It is, I often wish it was bigger, but boy, it does the job. It's so busy,
Oh,
the corner of Dixie and 136. And it's so wonderful to hear your comments, because you're just not out there and we wonder who's running McDonald's, but we know that it's a family with compassion and caring. And thank you so much for appearing on a chat with our manager. Of course, Sharon does such a super job. We are all going through whatever the world is going through now. Thank you so much, Stephanie.
Thank you.
oh, thank you.
Thank you, Diane. I saw Ketley has her hand up. I'll be right with you, Ketley, but I just wanted to go back to Stephanie on something, because Diane talked about all of us, having consumed some McDonald's to take care of our hunger, or, maybe we had a craving that day, right?
Yeah, yeah.
How many stores does the family control right now, so that we get a better sense of how many people you're actually like feeding when they come to your doors?
Our organization is a 20-store organization. We have 20 restaurants. It's obviously something that's taken over 35 years to build. Yeah, we're very proud. It goes all the way from Miami Beach, expanding all the way into Broward. So we do have a very large area that we cover. a lot of different communities. We're members of a lot of different cities. So yeah, we're glad that we're able to touch so many different people in different communities, and it's all very different markets. So we do get a lot of different backgrounds, and we learn a lot about a lot of people because we stretch pretty far from Miami-Dade to Broward. So there's a lot of people that we get to meet.
I don't remember because I don't, sometimes I look for it in the menu, but a lot of times I look for it on the menu in different places because our boss, the city manager, Esmond Scott, he must have a gluten-free diet. So how much of the menu is or will become gluten-free for those with celiac disease?
Well, right now we are on, of course, because of what's going on, we have a limited menu in order to be able to feed everybody and to be able to pump out as much quality and freshness as we can to a majority of the deliveries that are going out. So right now it's a limited menu. Only time will tell when we'll start reintroducing, the same as, as we're opening our lobbies and things like that. Everything's a little sensitive right now, but I do know that in our menu innovation team for the nation, they do have a lot of different menus in works. They have a lot of different test markets that they use. We aren't a gluten test market. We were a test market. I don't know if you were like last year we were a test market for flavors around the world of different foods that were being served in other countries. So that was exciting. I guess it's because since Miami's kind of a melting pot, that's why they chose us for something like that. So
I'm
we have
guessing the curry burger is coming at some point then.
Yeah, eventually. Eventually, but McDonald's is very, very careful, and they do a lot of tests, and they do make sure that it's something before they release it to the masses that would be beneficial to whoever would be purchasing it. So, but I do know that things like that are in the works. There's a lot of things to our menu because there's a lot of different dietary restrictions for a lot of people, so that is something that's being tested.
We'll look out for it. Ketley, I saw that you had another question before we wrap up the program.
Actually, it's just that I wanted to mention that my niece who worked for McDonald's, one of the things that I have to say I hate about her is that every year she gets a new car, okay? McDonald's changes her car every year, okay? She has a new car.
Yes.
In other words, you're helping Stephanie with recruitment.
Oh my goodness.
Well, she works for McDonald's Corporation. This is a family business. Excuse me.
Stephanie, so tell us, before we wrap up, tell us your favorite menu or meal on the menu.
I mean, I'm a double cheeseburger kind of girl. I'm a hot fudge sundae person, French fries, 100%, and chocolate chip cookies.
Delicious. All of it is delicious, and we're all hungry because some of us haven't eaten lunch yet. So maybe we will be stopping by our local, which is.
Please do. You're more than welcome. Please do. Of course, there are restrictions, right now. So, you're gonna have to follow the guidelines, but delivery is open. So feel free.
Stephanie, thank you so much. Please tell your mom and dad thank you as well for, taking that risk, showing us that sometimes it's worth to take the risk. And then and as a result be so successful and then pass it on to the family. And I wish you and the family much success in this restaurant business, and I hope you all stay well and stay safe during this time, and I'm sure we will meet again. Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
Thank you for joining us. Everybody enjoy. Bye.
Bye.